Welcome and thanks for attending today's webcast. Exelon automates customer service with integration and digital assistant. Special thanks to our guest speaker, Kumar. It's always best to learn from successful customer implementations. Please pay attention to the Oracle Safe Harbor statement. Quick housekeeping. Today's webcast is live and a recording, including slides, will be available at Oracle Video Hub. Please post your questions via the Q&A tool anytime. In the chat, we will post announcements and links. At the end of the webcast, please share your feedback via the conference survey. Please welcome your host, Daryl Eichner.
Thanks so much, Jürgen. It's a pleasure to see you all here today and really appreciate your time. I'm excited to go ahead and open up this entry in our webcast series on business process innovation and how Oracle integration and conversational AI services are helping customers such as Exelon reinvent their businesses. You know, as a lot of the customers that I had the opportunity to meet with, including Kumar, indicate when they look at transformation, they often have this question of, should I build, should I buy? And in fact, if you click one more time, what we're seeing is that folks like Kumar and Exelon are doing both. They're finding creative ways to buy their SaaS, build their custom, leverage their existing applications and data, and get the most out of what they already have. This is a continuous process that goes forward, and that's why low code and free builds and reuse are so critical to time to value, both in terms of delivery and on an ongoing basis. So today we're going to talk about a number of technologies, but I just kind of wanted to net it out in terms of the things that we're seeing people like Kumar bring to their enterprise architecture. And what we're seeing is folks are saying, okay, there's 3 swim lanes. You can start anywhere here, but there's 3 swim lanes that kind of build well on each other. One, you've got to connect your apps and data inside the enterprise and across your ecosystem. Once you have your applications and data connected, now we're in a great position to digitize processes, to automate end-to-end approvals, and make sure that that's simpler for your employees to execute on. And once we have that foundation, now we're in a great position to bring in AI, ML, and conversational AI is something we're going to talk about in some detail today and show you some great examples on. So let's move forward. And with that, I am just pleased as could be to introduce our panel of speakers today. We're very lucky to have Suhas Uliyar. He's our Vice President and spiritual leader of all things business process innovation. And he's going to speak to us about the vision, the future, the kinds of stuff that we are so excited about bringing to you today. And then we're going to have Kumar, who is a principal, senior enterprise architect, knows how this works, has been successful over time with this whole process. He's going to help us to understand both their architecture, their journey, and what it's like to be successful at the level that Kumar operates. Jürgen Kress, as you know, is our ongoing man who brought this series to life, and we're lucky to have him, as well as Rick Hall, who's our business development lead in North America. So we're happy to have Rick to have a roundtable at the end there. So with that, I'm excited to introduce Suhas Uliyar.
Thank you, Daryl, very much. And thank you, Jürgen, for scheduling this. And thank you all. A very warm welcome to all the attendees for making the time to attend this. A special thanks to Kumar. Daryl sort of talked about me being the spiritual leader. He's actually my spiritual leader and my innovation hub, if you like. He's the one that always pushes us to be innovative with his innovative ideas, and he's going to talk a lot about what he has done to sort of progress his key business processes there. Talking about that, right? So, today we're going to talk a little bit about business process innovation and business process automation. So let's start fundamentally to talk a little bit about sort of what do we mean by business processes, right? it's something we do every day, in our daily life, or in whether at work or in our personal lives, right? And this can be as simple as a, departmental approval flow, workflow, or it could get as complex as an order to cash that is traversing multiple systems. And so the idea here with the innovation is, how do we automate some of the mundane, boring tasks that we as humans do to give us more time to be strategic, to be innovative, to be creative, so we can actually, help our business grow, right? Whether it's, from a operational efficiency perspective or from a revenue perspective. And talking about that, sort of when we talk to customers about why are they investing in, process innovation and using all the latest and the greatest in cloud and digital technologies, it comes down to really two key things, right? Which is, I want to improve efficiency, and I want to increase my my revenue, my top line. And sort of, but as a result of that, there's a ton of other things that come together, and these are not, I wouldn't sort of call it that one's more important than the other, but these all sort of really contribute to why customers are looking to automate and add intelligence to their business process automations. So including sort of being able to innovate faster, being able to quickly unify and simplify workflows, being able to iterate very quickly, and really being able to get end-to-end visibility into the business processes so they can better serve their stakeholders, whether that's their internal employees, their partners, or their customers. Now, if you look at any business, they're going to be they'll fundamentally have at least these three, if not more, core applications. HCM, ERP, and supply chain is sort of part of the ERP family here, and customer experience, right? So, but regardless of that, right? Whether you are, so what are the real digital business challenges that customers face across this? So whether they're automating, recruitment to pay, right? Or transforming an agile finance and supply chain, going from requisition to receipt, or getting a 360-degree view of their customers. These, typically what we see is these end-to-end processes involve more than one single business system, including custom or on-prem or cloud. And between all of that are the analytics and the big data that's needed to drive some of this intelligence with data warehouses and so on and so forth. But what we end up having there is, siloed workflows across what we call these big boulders. And we talk about the pebbles between these boulders. No one's sort of automating these pebbles, which are pretty much human automation, where we are doing this via Slack or Microsoft Teams, or picking up the phone and calling people, or email. And that is sort of what is really frustrating, and then not tying these big boulders, which I call the big applications, together. And then, while we would all love our customers to be end-to-end Oracle across all applications, the reality it's not. And that then, ends up having, a number of different fragmented user experiences. Now, as we look at sort of why process innovation has slowed down in the enterprise, right? It really comes down to some technical complexities. And these technical complexities continue to sort of expand as we move to the cloud. So, when you look at today's sort of environment, we are not just a cloud, we're a hybrid cloud. We have on-premise applications, we have cloud applications, we have custom applications, we have off-the-shelf applications, different, and when you look at sort of, there's the PaaS vendors, such as AWS and Azure and Google Cloud and Oracle, OCI. But then you also have sort of application multi-cloud vendors, whether it's Oracle or Salesforce or ServiceNow and so on and so forth. And so now you end up sort of determining, okay, or get challenged with, well, how do I integrate all these pieces together, both legacy and modern? And then sort of, how do I manage sort of the data extraction to drive some of the intelligence or drive analytics? And here now we're dealing with not only structured data, but also unstructured or semi-structured data. And then, in many cases, also interacting or integrating with your business partners from a B2B perspective. And across all of this, back to the core issue is these fragmented user experiences, which just makes life really difficult for the end users. So what's Oracle's story for this, right? So we've been, working on cloud native services across sort of a number of different capabilities. And some of the, and sort of really providing an integrated architecture that really drives business process innovation across the enterprise. So starting with, the process automation, which allows us to visually compose human workflows, whether it's for approvals or create tasks, and sort of also be integrated with RPA. And we'll talk about what we're doing in the RPA front in a minute. Application integration, which is the core fabric on how you're able to sort of integrate data from multiple applications. This really sort of automates your system level integration across both SaaS, on-premise, B2B, and so on and so forth. Data integration is for extracts to be able to sort of take all your transactional data and move it to your data warehouses or lake houses, so you can use that data for analytics and to train your AI models, so you can add intelligence into your business process. Visual builder that allows you to sort of build new engaging experiences. So whether they are composite web apps or new mobile interfaces that cut across multiple silos of applications to create that unified experience. And last not the least, but this is sort of where we add the intelligence to sort of all the business processes through the digital assistant and the AI ML services. And one of the key aspects is that we are using our strengths in the enterprise. I mean, Oracle's been in the enterprise business for the last 40 years, but also been in the application business for that duration as well. So we are bringing in the expertise of understanding these applications and adding all these, what we refer to as the OCI native services, to help you drive that kind of intelligence in there, right? So that's really a key part of it. And all of this is, again, running on our OCI infrastructure that's now available in, I don't know, I lose count of the number of data centers we have and announcing on a daily basis. I think we're up to about 34, 35 with full sort of disaster recovery and high availability across all regions. I just want to quickly highlight sort of, ultimately we talk about business process automation. And to automate, yes, we can do a lot of rules-based stuff, but ultimately to get that scale and to utilize the data that we've already collected, we need to add intelligence. And we have a number of AI services that we have released in the past that becomes part. Now, these are all individual AI services that you can use to do your own, and we sort of support both data scientists through the lower level, which is the OCI data science platform, the database machine learning platform, and data labeling. But at the top layer, the blue layer, which is sort of the AI services, are meant to be the specialized AI APIs that you can incorporate without really having to know data science, know machine learning or AI. And here, the programming language is really data. The data is what drives sort of the behavior of your intelligence, which comes back to my previous point, which is, being able to integrate and get all the data in one place and being able to understand transactional data to drive this intelligence. And we are using this in multiple ways. The digital assistant, I'll talk about it in a little bit more detail. Speech language services. I'll show a demo of intelligent doc processing using the document understanding and how that is incorporated as part of the process and integration layer. We're also using services like the anomaly detection to ensure proactive sort of monitoring of your integrations themselves. So for instance, if you start seeing anomalies related to response rates of your backend or missing data or PII data, then we can be proactive and send you notifications about the state of your business process in real time. So a number of services. Again, the key point here is that you don't need to be an AI specialist to use these services. You just incorporate that as part of your process. As I mentioned earlier, fundamentally core to automation is being able to get access to data, and this is sort of why the integration platform is very, very key for us. And Daryl talked about sort of, how do we build and or buy? So we have a number of what we refer to as pre-built connectivity. Those are adapters to a number of backend systems that I'll show you in a minute, recipes and business accelerators that are pre-built integrations to both Oracle and non-Oracle applications and RPA as well, as I'll cover that in a little bit more detail. In terms of capabilities, we provide the full app integration scope and paradigm there, which analysts refer to as the EIPaaS, or the Integration Platform as a Service. We have native B2B capabilities for EDI interchange. I've talked about Visual Builder, product process automation, and also business insight. So going beyond sort of your diagnostics of what's going on with my integration and how long it's taking and what are the issues are, if there are any. we also elevate that to a level for the business through insights to be able for them to be able to look at the state of their business processes and figure out where the bottlenecks are and what's taking long and sort of being able to adhere to their SLAs. We provide different deployment capabilities, cloud to ground, ground to ground, and cloud to cloud. This, as I said, runs on the OCI services, cloud services that enable us to take advantage of a number of additional services, like obviously the database, the autonomous database, the streaming service, the functions, API gateway, AI services, and again, pre-built connectivity to a number of cloud applications and on-prem. And just tying that to sort of how our customers are currently using it. These are the number of different use cases that we have in the back. These are a number of different pre-built connectivity that we have across ERP, HCM, productivity and social, database technology, messaging, RPA, and also we have SDKs that allow you or our partners to build adapters or connectivity to the systems of record. All right, so that's sort of what we have today. Let's talk about where we are going. In fact, before I do that, I'll just very quickly talk about, we have a number of customers, over 5,000. I mean, this slide keeps updating it almost on a monthly basis with the number of customers we have across our portfolio. And you'll hear from Kumar directly. But I quickly wanted to talk about where are we headed here. So this is the current portfolio. And when you look at sort of where the analysts are what the analysts are talking about and focusing on, Gartner talks about hyper-automation, IDC calls it intelligent automation, Forrester calls it intelligent automation as well. So there's a number of, the analysts sort of have a different name for this, but essentially what they've done is they've taken a look at all the pieces like the iPaaS, like virtual assistants, like, low-code, no-code, and sort of really group them into this big umbrella called hyper-automation or intelligent automation. And it's really about sort of looking at taking these tools and automating these, what I refer to as the pebbles between these boulders. And for that, we have a number of existing services that I've already talked about and that you can see on the screen. But where we're investing further, and I'll explain why, is in areas like RPA, the Business Automation Composer, Process Insights, Intelligent Doc Processing, and AI pre-built process automations. And I'll touch base on some of this as I go forward. Now, we believe that, we're not going with a lot of vendors who talk about taking the human out of the process. We don't believe in that. There's always a need for a human, even if it's as much as initiating the process, but you always need people or humans in the loop, whether it's for validation, for approvals. AI is not at a point where you can just let it run helter-skelter by its own. You still need some sort of, governance or sort of the models and how it's being used. But what we believe is that, the future of automation is going to be a conversation between people, system, and processes. And what we are doing in the digital assistant, then, rather than just being a sort of an intelligent chatbot that answers a question that a user asks that you see with pretty much most of the websites that are out there, we are introducing the concept of a digital employee that basically can autonomously converse, collaborate, and work with systems and employees to get the work done, where the digital employee interacts with humans at the point of interaction, wherever they are in the channel that they prefer, can think and provide recommendations and take action on behalf, and it works with pre-built skills and automation integrated with our process and integration services. So this is sort of how we see the future end state of automations. I talked earlier about RPA, so I'm sure the question is like, why now, and why is Oracle sort of getting into the RPA business? One of the things we've realized as we sort of work with a lot of our customers, especially in healthcare, that some of the applications are still sort of old school legacy, where there are no APIs, and even if there are APIs, they're really slow and not designed for high speed sort of intelligent type of interactions that we do, especially as we open up these systems for consumption by consumers. So imagine sort of a hospital EMR that's exposing sort of all your patient records to us as patients, and we're going to do our own appointments and want to look at our old lab reports. it's putting a lot of burden on the back end, which is not really designed to handle these kind of things, right? And so they don't have the API. So we believe that it's an application user interface integration. And unlike a lot of the vendors who have been in the RPA business that have tried and sold this as, oh, you don't need IT, the reality is these RPA projects end up being an IT project. And so the idea is here that how can we do it with less IT, not without IT, but more importantly, that this is part of the overall ecosystem of integrating APIs and user interface integration all together. So it's not one or the other, that you can orchestrate your business process where it makes most sense to use APIs, because that's sort of where the scale and the governance is available, but where not, being able to use RPA, especially in an unattended mode, and being able to, in an attended mode, eliminate some of the repetitive manual tasks. For example, we're looking at, again, in the hospital setting and even in customer service settings, being able to automate, for instance, being able to look up products, or being able to look up a customer's profile, or inserting sort of your what's referred to as the head-to-toe assessment that a nurse does with a patient every day, right? So being able to very easily do that rather than write this information on a piece of paper or a scrub or having a swivel chair. So where do we see our differentiators with RPA? I mean, to be honest, and don't take this the wrong way, but RPA is easy technology to build. We've been doing screen scraping technology since years. I mean, since the mainframe days. Especially when it came to things like testing and so on and so forth. So the technology is not difficult. It's just that at least me and some of my team are purists when it comes to integration, and we believe that APIs is the right way to integrate. But like I mentioned, we still have pockets of customers and industries that are not quite there. And so we see us as the hybrid automation across API, robots, and humans, along with the digital assistant. We basically future-proof your automations with or without APIs. And what we mean by that is you can start using your robotic process automation today. You got your APIs. Your automations don't change, just your point of interaction, where instead of calling an RPA bot, you would basically call it an API. That's basically the only change that happens at that point. And also the way we plan to run it is we have some very cool technology where these robots can run, even if it's required to run on your on-premise environment, or we can actually run it on the OCI cloud as a full autonomous operation, and use some of the technologies we have with OCI, like VCNs and private endpoints, to essentially take off the burden of managing and monitoring and running the bots yourselves. And also sort of it's all based on modern technologies, not using thick clients and so on and so forth. Now, one of the other areas that we have, again, bringing all this together, an example of this is your intelligent doc processing. And we're seeing a number of use cases where customers want to automate, whether it's invoice processing or expense management or know your customer, including things like, applying for a new mortgage or applying for a new loan in financial services, or, in the hospital setting, being able to sort of, every time you go to see a doctor, you got to fill in like 25 forms with the same information. So, the idea here is to be able to automate a bunch of this with pre-built intelligent automation, and also being able to enable customizations of your AI. So let's take a quick look at this, and I'll show you a demo. So I'm going to be incredibly brave or incredibly stupid, because I'm going to do a live demo now. Okay, so what you're seeing here is we're using, just back to this slide here for 1 second. So we're basically going to be, in this case, invoice processing and expense, which is how we do it at Oracle. It comes through. In this case, I'm going to sort of upload the expense report, go through my integration cloud that first goes through process where we start an event, we create a request, and then we call in the OCI vision service. And here I'm going to see, if the quality and the confidence factor of that receipt is really good and processing is really good, then I can automate the entire process and just send it to my manager for approval. If the confidence is low, then we bring the human in the loop to validate that scanned receipt, very quickly make the adjustments, and then go to the report. So let's quickly go through that. So I'm going to start my process, and I'm going to use a form here to just start that expense process. So I'm going to say, okay, customer dinner in Austin. And I'm going to drag and drop. In this case, I'm just going to sort of pick my receipt. Let's see what's happening here. There we go. It's uploading. Don't worry about the error message, just to show that this is actually real stuff. So I'm going to submit this receipt, and it's now going to go do its stuff. So I'm going to quickly look at what the status of this is. And I'm going to, okay, it's in progress. I can look at, so this is sort of the process part of integration doing that. So I can look at my audit report. I can see that, okay, it's sort of gone back, and okay, the confidence is pretty good, and close this. So now, so this is sort of the admin side of things. So as a user and as a manager, I would just look at my workspace. I'll be monitoring my workspace. I can look at my tasks, and I can see that at 9:27 a.m. I got this approved expense report. And this is sort of the receipt that I had that I loaded. So very quickly, let me just show you that receipt. So if I just go to my demo, my integration demos, IDP, and look at send.jpg, that's the receipt that I uploaded. And I'll just also get this one up just to keep it there. And you can see that it took my receipt. Oops, let me move this around. Get smaller, and it processed it, and right now I can see all of that. I don't have any need to sort of modify that receipt. I can just click on approve, and now it's basically approved. Okay, so now let me show you another receipt, and this is it's not your eyes, it is a bad receipt. It is a little bit blurry here. So I'm going to essentially now upload that one now. So let me just go to my start request. I'll find the form, and I'll change the call center, and I say this is internal meeting lunch with team, and I'm going to pick the water view one, and it's done. I submit that one. So now it's actually going to go through this loop because the confidence rating is not good here. So I'm going to go to the workspace now, with my team tasks. So, okay, it hasn't done it yet. See. Okay, instead of approve, it actually went to a status called validate receipt. So when I look at the validate here, if I expand the form, so here's the blurry receipt, but it actually did a pretty good job. It did sort of process and classify the merchant name. So here, not only are we using vision service, but also the language service to be able to classify what we extracted through the OCI and the vision service into actual field names. So we got the merchant address, but here I can come and change. For example, if the quantity is not right, I can come and modify the quantity, hit submit, and now sort of it goes to the approved flow, and I can now approve that flow and finish that, right? So that's an example of how we look at automation, and one example of that automation. With that, I'm going to hand off to my very close friend and my guru, Kumar. Here we go. Please share how you're using all the services that I talked about.
Hey, thank you, Suhas, and hello, everyone. I work for Exelon. It is one of the largest rate-based utilities in North America. We have 10.5 million customers, and these are across 6 different utilities. So these are all regulated utilities. We have the largest of these is ComEd, which is in Chicago, Illinois. And we also have Pepco, which is Washington, D.C., Baltimore Gas and Electric, Baltimore, PECO is Philadelphia, Delmarva covers the Delaware region, and we have Atlantic City Electric. So we have these companies were acquired at different points in time, and as an architect, we have the challenge of consolidating the platforms and the business processes, and we are a long-term Oracle client. As Suhas mentioned, we have been working on like the things that you see now. We have been an early participant in this development and have adopted some of those. So with all these utilities, they have a meter data management system, a customer care and billing. They have automated distribution management system, outage management, enterprise resource planning, which also will include the work and asset management and enterprise asset management. Okay. As you saw, these are 6 different utilities. So although in the customer thing, we are showing CCNB, we also have 2 utilities which are still on mainframe and 3 which are using SAP. And same, we have 4 different outage management systems. ERP and EAM, we have standardized and they are on one. MDM is also 2 flavors. So we have to, the challenge is we have to get all this data and be present for our customers and let them get the answers with the channel of their choice. So we initially focused on getting a consolidated website. Then we developed a custom mobile app, and the code base for all of these is same. We just changed the style sheets for them to look different for the different utilities. And then the next thing on our horizon was because the new generation doesn't want to be going on the website or calling. So we enabled the same APIs and leveraged them across the Oracle Digital Assistant, which used to be called at that time mobile cloud service. So we have been working with that. And then, so those are made available. So you can do SMS, you can do on Alexa or Google Home. So all those channels are enabled. So this was the challenge. And one of the things that we did to address this was we built a common service layer. And that common service layer, as you see, is built on the Oracle SOA suite. So for utilities, there is a IEC standard for the data representation. So that's what we adopted. It's called SIM data model. And basically, we take the data from each of these systems and transform them. And then that is made available on the web. And this is where the OIC comes in, running on OCI. And that is making the data available to the digital assistant as well as the website and all other channels. So we have a common set of APIs, about 70 plus, which are serving all these needs. And one another thing to note in this one is some of our applications are now SaaS hosted. So like you are seeing Oracle Marketing Cloud, Service Cloud, OPower, and there are some others also which are not listed here from different vendors. So we are leveraging the SaaS, and our goal is to move everything off to the cloud as much as possible. And one thing I would like to highlight in this integration was the build versus buy decision. And the CDM, they were pre-built integration that came with the Oracle suite. And that was the one which we leveraged, and you'll see and that saved us a lot of time and energy. So those pre-built integrations were the ones that we leveraged to connect our on-prem systems to the CDM, and CDM kind of acts as a base for the Marketing Service Cloud and other Oracle tools. And yeah, so
actually, Kumar, if you could just make a comment on the Azure Interconnect, because that is a really big part of how Larry talked about at Cloud World, right? Which is we don't see, every vendor or every customer is going to have at least 2, if not more, clouds, right? And it's time for the cloud vendors to come together to provide a seamlessness. So can you just talk a little bit about your Cloud Interconnect?
No, great point, Suhas. So one of the with our cloud footprint, we are mostly in Microsoft Azure and the Oracle Cloud, OCI. Those are our 2 primary. And then some of the SaaS applications are hosted on AWS and Google. So we do leverage them also. But the website and the APIs are running on Azure. And we have this interconnect between Oracle data centers, the cloud hosted data centers, and the Microsoft Azure data center. And that makes the latency a lot less. And also we, with our, you'll see in the next slide, we are moving CCNB to the cloud. We already moved SAP to the Azure cloud. So we did need this high frequency, high speed connection. And there was a lot of doubt when we started, but now it is working for us. And that is making it much easier for us to move our applications to cloud. What we delivered using those common channels and the common code base And we also are a big user of Oracle Service Cloud, and that is getting all the data. So we have, even with our customer systems being on different backends, we have a common Oracle CX layer that presents it for our call center. And and also I mentioned about the omni-channel support that we have. So with these two, it has helped us reduce the phone calls to our the customer service, and because phone calls are the costliest for us to support. Plus, it is giving us a better customer satisfaction. And another thing that it helps us do by moving on to cloud is we can scale out and scale up and scale down. And sometimes, when there is a weather event or something like that, when we were on-prem, our systems will start crashing, or we will be like weren't able to meet those, but we are now able to do that. So there's outage reports, and the things that we make available on our ODA platform is basically bill payment and outage, everything related to those. And the other thing that another benefit that we got out of this implementation was leveraging the out-of-the-box pre-built integrations. That saved us a lot of time and helped us meet the timelines, because these are huge projects. You are making data from mainframe available on the modern platforms and supporting your bots. So that was another benefit that we had with this one. And this diagram kind of shows where we are going. Main difference between the previous diagram and this one is you will notice that we are moving all of our systems from on-prem to the cloud. So SAP, you see there, it's actually done. It's not future, but that one is done. The CCNB migration is still going on. So that one is taking longer because we are also consolidating the platform. And we are also like introducing some RPA and other, the AI-based processing that can help our customers. We automated all the FAQs from being a static document to something that you can talk to the bot and ask a question and get the response. And all of these capabilities are available on as an omni-channel, and we don't have to buy a vendor point-to-point solution that goes all the way back into, and these common APIs are helping us do that. That's kind of yeah, and if you guys have any questions in the Q&A, I'll be more than happy to answer. But this is where we are, and we are thankful to Oracle for the partnership, and they have met our HADR requirements and others. We have grown together on that. And now I will hand over to Daryl to.
Thank you so much, Kumar. It is just outstanding. I think, one of the things I just wanted to kind of echo and wrap up from that experience, from your experience, time to deliver. It's not just a one-time event. You've been delivering and delivering quickly and delivering iterations on your innovations on an ongoing basis. So low code is not low skilled. Low code is about high productivity for your teams, right? And that's an amazing insight that we all want to take away. You're controlling costs. With time comes cost, and so we talk about the cost and risk factors that come from being able to scale up and scale down, and then of course all of this means that we have to design for change, right? And that's something we really admire in what you've done, Kumar, and what that you've been able to achieve. Every step of the way, you've designed for a future of growth, a future of differentiation in terms of customer experience, and we're really excited for you about how that's come together. Let's go to the final slide. Just the reasons why we're excited to host Kumar, you and leaders such as Suhas and Jürgen and Rick is that we take this very seriously. We are leading in these capabilities and applications and databases because we have the commitment to our customers, and we know what they're looking for in terms of pre-builts and in terms of hybrid and in terms of multi-cloud. That's why we're building in the way we're building. These run-ready recipes, the patented machine learning for specific vocabularies that allow for quick training. The end-to-end visibility, where are these workflows? Where are we at within them? How quickly can we respond when we need to? This is what brings together both the integration, the process automation, and the conversational AI for business process innovation. So with that, I'd like to go ahead and turn it back over to Jürgen.
Some quick updates. Oracle Cloud Work continues on demand. Watch the keynotes and download the presentations on integration and digital assistant. For an Oracle Cloud World overview, join us on the next integration product update webcast on December 15th. Neil Kominski will also present details on when and how to upgrade to Oracle Integration 3. Want to try Oracle Integration 3, which is an exciting new version? It's part of the free trial, and you can go to oracle.com/try it. So Nathan and team just released the live labs for Oracle integration, so you can try it yourself with the free trial. Who are the integration experts to support your customer projects? System integrators like Accenture implement most of our top integration projects, so choose a certified partner with integration references to replicate your success. At Partner Finder, you can search for certified partners by competency and region. At Cloud Marketplace, you can search for applications based on the Oracle Cloud Platform. For example, Avanco offers a third-party integration adapter for SAP or Amazon. Questions? Need support? Collaborate at Cloud Customer Connect within conversations, innovations, or you can earn badges and become a champion. For regular updates, please subscribe to the Oracle Integration newsletter. The quarterly updates from our team includes the latest product information, events, success stories, white papers, and training. Today's webcast is live. A recording, including slides, will be published at Oracle Video Hub. So, some resources for you as a customer and partner. Make sure you visit the Oracle Integration website for details on integration and also Oracle Process Automation. The free trial is available for you, so make use of it to test and try out Oracle Integration 3. And for details, please subscribe to the newsletter.
Thanks for attending today's webcast, and special thanks to the speaker team. Join us on December 15th for the next Oracle Integration Update webcast.